Howdy hey, everybody. Whoa, still recovering from con. I'm just letting you know that. Still recovering. One of the highlights of con, I got Pogo the Spider-goyle. Yay! Yay, hello Pogo. I love my Spider-goyle. But more on that a little later. First, theme music. Oh, by the way, this is Edward. More geek than gay. Yay!
There's no need to fear. Underdog is here.
Walking, tiny white stuff.
So, hi. Okay, so Joseph is away right now. He's having to help Gini because she's got all sorts of writing stuff that needs to be done, and that's what he does as a personal assistant, is he helps her out. So, I'm again flying solo. I know that you guys were hoping for updates from the con from me during the weekend. I was hoping for updates from the con from me during the weekend. Combination of things. Because of my position, I had limited times when I could record things for the con, and they kept me very busy, so I had very little off time. And then there was the programs that I was going to be using, because I have actually a small pad that I was able to get that has like nothing on it, so I'm basically trying to dedicate it to nothing but podcasting. But that small pad, I'm not getting the programs that are doing what I want them to do, and they won't take one of the files that I need. So I need to figure out what's going on there, what type of file extension it needs to be, so I can convert it over and get it over there. If anybody knows a good podcasting program for Android, hook a brother up, because I don't know. Oh, and then there was also basically the concept that no one had connectivity while we were there, okay? The only reason I was able to get anything done was because I could get a phone signal out. I couldn't get an internet signal out. So combine those three things together, and that's what happens. No updates for the weekend. But it was a very fun time at the con. As I said, I've got my Spider-goyle Pogo. Yay! Thank you, Brad, for getting him for me. Everything. And also, thank you, Sarah and Robert of Red Nebula Studios. They're the ones that made the Spider-goyle. It was so cute when I went and found them at the booth, because it's all like, oh, we had all this stuff that we were going to bring to the con, but all these people kept on buying everything, so we didn't have anything to bring. It's like, oh, wow, people bought your stuff. Oh, it was so cute. They also made a limited edition picture. Ta-da! Then Joseph got a copy of that. There's only 85 of these, and it's a really cool dragon picture. And I can't remember what it's called. It's like Rising from the Phoenix or something like that. I don't know. It has a name. It has a name. I don't know what it is. But since you're only going to be getting half of the story from me, because Joseph has his parts too, I'm not going to give you the whole con experience. Okay? I'm just going to give you a couple little highlights here and there. first I do want to say that, yeah, you know, I've been working. What you gonna do? Also, though, not just work, between the con and work, and, oh, there was something else. Then there was school. I still got one last class that I need to finish, which, that didn't happen during the con because, oh yeah, I'm doing an online class, connectivity. Remember that whole issue? Yeah. So, I had to talk to them. Thank God they waived me from the first week that I was in there. I start back up in a week and a half. I just got a 5-week class, and then I got my bachelor's all legit, not just like, oh, I did a walk, but no, I really got it. They got to send me a piece of paper and everything. So I'm all happy. Woohoo! So in about a week and a half, you may see this go down to just once a week. Joseph may have to pick up a lot of slack because there is no way in hell I am going to fail this last class. Okay, I am going to dedicate myself to getting this last class done. And, okay, see, now you get to see me, like, and I guarantee you, this is nobody. I guarantee this phone call is nobody. Yeah, it's Minneapolis. Hello? And there was no one there. We get these calls all the time. Don't get it? You answer, you get to hear them hang up, and then nothing. And from different places. So, it's weird. Some may try to figure out some sort of like weird, oh my god, it's some sort of scam, but what kind of scam could that be? I just answered a phone. That goes to my phone bill. And I can contest it because I've been customer with them for forever, so if I needed to, but that's never come up as anything. It's just some sort of weird thing. I think maybe these companies think we're a fax line or something and it just hangs up. I don't know, but which doesn't make much sense because sometimes I can hear people on the other side and then I hear them hang up. So anyway, I also did manage to submit a short story to yeah, my brain just shut down real quick there. And Penumbra, the science fiction magazine, they're put out by Musa Publications, and I submitted a short story. I have to be honest, I'm actually glad they rejected it. It does let me know kind of that my first story I submitted to them probably was being seriously considered, because they held on to that one for a long time before they rejected that one. This one, it was only about 2, maybe 3 weeks. Then I got a rejection, and I think only like 2 weeks. And it was a polite rejection, and I kind of suspected, they said it just wasn't what they were looking for, which I kind of suspected that I went a different route than what they were looking for. They actually had, the theme for the magazine that month is supposed to be pain. I kind of took it to a really weird, dark place, and I don't think that that's really what they were looking for, where I went with it. But I'm also kind of glad that they turned it down, because the moment that I hit send, I realized that, for lack of a better word, the punchline, I missed the punchline. I got a punchline on there, but I didn't put the punchline on there. There's a much better punchline that after I hit send and sent them my work, I realized, no, there's a better line. There's a better way to word that line to make it the punchline that carries everything. So now I can just puff it up, work on it. It needs actually about probably 500 more words too. Yeah, I need to add just a little bit more substance to here and there. And then I'll just submit it someplace else, someplace that is actually that dark of a magazine, because Penumbra's not this dark. So, and it's weird because it's just a subtle little story, but it's a dark, subtle little story. It goes really dark at the end. So like I said, I'm actually glad that that one did get turned down. So, as you can hear, a lot of things on my plate right now. Also, about ready to start the other 2 podcasts. Yeah, so be on the lookout for Math Monkeys and 4-Color Storytime. Those will only be audio though. Those will not be video podcasts. Those will only be audio, so you'll have to get them either directly through iTunes or through Libsyn, or if I can get them on other servers, hopefully I can start getting sponsors, especially for those, because they're so specialized. Math Monkeys is just going to be a math podcast, and 4-Color Storytime is going to be me reading, that comic book story that I read at the end of these episodes. That's what that's going to be. A little bit more fleshed out with info, but that's basically what that's going to be. More on that probably next week when I get that all set up, but I'm just giving you a heads up that, yeah, I'm a busy man. So, as I said, we went to Con. Oh my god, Con was so busy. I had panels all over the place. Joseph was covering the booth all over the place because Gini had panels, and even when she didn't have panels, he had to cover it. I'm just going to quickly hit you with a couple little highlights, and then when Joseph is with me, then we will give you a more detailed look at everything. Like I said, got the Spider-goyle, got the limited edition picture. Also, one of my panels was for a book that's coming out called Kaiju Rising, which is about, like, I'd say 20 or so different short stories about giant kaiju monsters, even though those are actually daikaiju, if they're the big monsters. But in general, if someone says kaiju, you're talking giant monsters. No one's really thinking like little monsters. Gini has a story in that, as do quite a few other authors. Each story comes with an accompanying piece of art for the monster, and there's 2 artists, one who did most of the artwork, and then another one, and then there's a cover artist. So I guess there's 3 artists, maybe 4, because I think there's another cover artist or something. I got confused on that. But Robert Elrod, he was one of the artists there. He's the one that did most of the artwork. I really like his stuff. It has kind of, when you look at it in depth, it actually has almost, there's elements of like old-fashioned wood cutting. I even asked him whether, he just said that's his style, but it really gave kind of the impression of like on the old maps, Beyond Here There Be Monsters, all that stuff. When we went to the panel, he came with a little sketchbook or portfolio book of his stuff, which was really nice. He gave one to each one of the panelists. He gave one to the moderator, which would be me. And then he also had a couple extras as prizes. And it's just a really nice little prize to have gotten for not having done anything. And the illustrations are really nice. Audio-wise, you're not going to be able to see these, but you'll just have to take my word for it that these are really nice illustrations. He even signed it on the back for me, and that was actually a very fun panel. Very informative, talking about basically why people like kaiju, and then also getting around to going, hey, yeah, we got so wrapped up in talking about kaiju that I had to like try to bring it back around to, oh yeah, by the way, they have a book, which the paperback or hard copy is not available yet, but it is available as an ebook. So if you want to go look for it, I recommend it. A lot of really good stories in there. Even if you're not like, oh, I love Godzilla, even if you're not into Godzilla, they're still good stories. Okay, still good giant monster stories that cover all sorts of aspects. They're around the world, some are historical, some are told from just different points of view. It's just really nice. So that was one of my panels. Let's see here. I got to meet and talk with Mr. Mike Grell. Got him to sign my copy of John Sable Freelance #1, which I think is one of his favorite properties to work with. Asked him about all the sexy costumes that he did for the Legion of Superheroes in the 70s. Found out that some of them were actually a little bit more risque than I thought they were, because I was actually talking to him about the Cosmic Boy Bustier, and I know that sounds funny. If you type in the word Cosmic Boy Bustier into Google, it'll pop up. Okay, you'll get to see what I'm talking about. He's basically naked except for this kind of bustier thing. And I always liked it because A, it was one of the few male outfits that was a little bit more revealing, just like female costumes. So it actually made the female costumes that were revealing and skimpy not seem as skimpy, because here's a dude that's doing it, and it takes place in the future. So you figure, well, they have different mores and everything in the future. They're fine. Also talked to him about the Tyrock costume, which I know he hates. He didn't like how the character was developed, and so he decided to come up with the most assholey costume that he could. But a whole bunch of us who grew up with that costume, that's the costume we think of as Tyrock. I don't care if he has like elf booties and an Elvis collar. That's Tyrock's costume. So, you know, anytime we see someone else come up with a costume, it's like, that's nice, but where's the elf booties, and where's the Elvis costume or Elvis collar? I don't know. Just doesn't look right. But there was another character called Night Girl. She wore like a little skimpy bikini thing, and I told him I didn't know how he got away with that. And that's when he pointed out Princess Projectra, who she's really fairly covered up. I mean, yeah, it's laced up and here and there, and it is showing skin, but she's still wearing something from head to toe, except for a little bit of a lace up front and cutouts here and there. But he pointed out really that the lace up front, he deliberately kept on making lower and lower and lower. So you'd know that she must, eventually you had to figure out that she had the Brazilian or something like that. And I'm like, okay, that I completely missed as a kid. I noticed Night Girl, and I noticed others, but I did not notice Princess Projectra having to have a wax job. So, But that was actually fun, having that little chat with him. He was doing autographs for free, but he asked for a donation to the Hero Initiative, which is an organization that I believe in very strongly. They're the ones that basically help raise money for creators, because comic book creators, for the most part, are work for hire. And therefore, they don't have benefits, they don't have retirement plans, they don't have stuff like that. When they get older and they start getting sick or whatever, then there's nothing for them to fall back on to pay these bills. And the Hero Initiative helps the people who created the things that we love, helps them get by. So every year, it doesn't matter how I am with money, I'm going to try to support them. I got a book, and I got this tote bag that I carried all my stuff in from the Hero Initiative, and helping comic creators in need. Hero Initiative, yeah. So they said that next year there's going to be some new cool stuff. Possibly, I got the impression, possibly T-shirts, which that will be great, because everybody wants the T-shirt that I have for Hero Initiative, and I don't think they make it anymore. So I also got to talk to Michael Golden, his artist. He did Micronauts for a long time. He did great, now my brain just went blank on all the things he did. But he also did, let me just get to the also. He also did Bucky O'Hare, which they did make a cartoon of in the 80s, early 90s. Okay, so that was actually kind of a significant character. It was put out by Continuity Graphics, which was Neil Adams' comic book company, And it was one of the more self-indulgent comic book companies around, which had gems in the rough, okay? Really, had some really nice things that could be done. And then a whole bunch of, but you had to weave your way through a whole bunch of, like, what the hell stories to get to them. But Echo of Future Past was an anthology title, and actually I think one of the best titles that Continuity put out. And in it, Larry Hama and Michael Golden did Bucky O'Hare, which is like a space battle type thing with anthropomorphic animals. And a kid. I always think that I'm not a big fan of, like, oh, there's a kid in a comic book. But I think that Michael Golden actually draws some of the most believable children, like young kid, like 8 to 12-year-old kids in comic books. There's just something really right about how he draws kids, and that makes the story much more appealing. But I got him to autograph this, so that was really nice. I missed my chance because my first panel, day one, was with Andy fucking Kubert. I apologize for the F-bomb, Mickey, but anybody who knows comic books knows that, oh my god, Andy fucking Kubert. Who is he? Well, he's just a comic book superstar, which, with his brother, Adam, who's also a comic book superstar, son of Joe fucking Kubert, holy crap, who is a comic book legend, okay, who established the Kubert School of Comic Book Arts, the only accredited comic book art school in the United States, which has produced many professionals over the years. And Andy and Adam are now vice presidents, or presidents, co-presidents or co-vice presidents or something of the Kubert School. And it was very nice to be in on that panel, and even though they basically ran it, so I just basically got to sit and watch. I missed he left though late on Saturday, so I didn't get a chance to get him to sign something for me on Sunday when I was actually finally able to get around and get autographs. So sad, because I was going to get him to autograph Skate Man, which, any of you who knows the tragedy that is Skate Man, whew, I will talk about Skate Man some other time, but Skate Man is arguably one of the worst comic books I have ever read, put out by, like, professionals. One of the worst professional comic books ever. It is rumored to be the reason why PC Comics that was the nail in the coffin on PC Comics. All the unsold issues of Skate Man that they had lingering around in their warehouse that they could not unload is possibly why they had to finally pull the plug and go out of business. There's other stories I've heard about PC Comics. Okay, Pacific Comics did have some other things, but that I've heard. But this is the comic book that is rumored. I personally think that this comic book is essential for all anybody who's a comic book historian or comic book aficionado or anything like that. They need to, like, be aware of at least Skate Man, because Skate Man has a main story and then 2 little backup stories, because clearly the main story was not finished, and therefore they had to put in filler to get the rest of it going. Skate Man is done by Neil Adams, written and drawn. It's horrible. It is evidence that sometimes you need to tell professionals, regardless of how legendary or whatever they may be, no. The last backup story is, I mean, maybe he was professional, but it doesn't look it. So I'm going to say it was kind of like an amateur background, you know, hey, let's give this guy a shot. Sometimes you need to tell those guys, no, No, no. And then there's a middle story, which was illustrated by Andy Kubert, which ends up being the highlight, which shows you that even a throwaway backup story, which is intended as filler fluff, can sometimes be like something that someone can go, well, this was done right. Why wasn't everything else done right? And that's why I wanted him to sign it. It's possibly one of those things that he likes to forget he ever did. I'm hoping that he would actually understand my absolute... Love is not the right word for this, because this is not a love of things that are bad. This is a wow. But I also think of this comic book as so incredibly important because of the badness that is around it. Joseph got to go wandering around one day, and he got one of his notebooks that he loves from Scholastic.com. They always have a booth there. There is, I don't know, I heard stories which I hope are not true, that they may be not coming around next year for whatever reason. I'm hoping that they made enough money that they changed their mind. They make great notebooks. This one is a Jekyll and Hyde notebook, and the paper's split down the middle, so you actually end up with two notebooks because it's Jekyll and Hyde. So it's a brilliant little notebook. I'm going to put links to everybody's websites at the bottom here, so feel free to go check these guys out. They make great, fun little notebooks. Okay, and they do a variety of things. You can make your own. They also do music books. They do graph books, stuff like that. So check them out. I'm hoping that the rumor I heard isn't true, because it'll break Joseph's little heart. And they're a great company. They make, like I said, fantastic notebooks that are just really noteworthy. Noteworthy notebooks. I get it. Nah. Oh, and I won a plush, I can't remember his name, but from Walking Dead, the guy with the crossbow who goes around, and he had his brother who was a racist. I won a plushie of him from Cox, and I'm just quickly going through things over here. Oh, these two nice ladies. I was walking by, and I'm just minding my own business, walking by, and suddenly these two nice ladies dressed in Victoriana start waving me over, and I'm like going, what, me? And they're like, come here, and I'm like going, what, no, come here, okay, fine, and I go over, and these two nice ladies, they write sci-fi and or fantasy, and they're like going, because of the great work that you guys are putting into this con and everything, I want you to have these. And one of them gave me two of her books. I am going to mess up her name. Vijaya Sharts? I don't know. But she gave me two of her books, Archangel Checkmate and Archangel Crusader. Or Archangel. Also, I got downloads for other books of theirs, and it was actually just a whole bunch of stuff that they just handed me, and I'm like going, oh, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna run away now, because I had no idea what to do other than say thank you. It really threw me. That was just, but that was really fun. Let's see, what else, as I'm just going through here. The Peonies were there again, Wendy and Richard, and I forgot last year when they were here that I have ElfQuest Book 1, the first printing, which has the first, I don't know how many issues in it. Does it say? I don't know. It doesn't look like it says. But it has the first chunk of stories from ElfQuest in it. Even before it became like a big deal. So I had to go to panels. Brad, being a nice guy that he is, went over and got them to sign this for me. So yay to that. Oh, there was so much going on. So much going on. You cannot believe it. Well, I guess you could. While we were there was a rumor going around, and I kept on saying, this is rumored, when I would tell people, this is rumored, this is rumored, this is rumored, that that this year made us the #2 convention in the United States, and that they were anticipating an attendance of around 100,000 or whatever. Well, that's not what we had. We are still one of the top and one of the fastest growing conventions in the United States. We hit, I believe, over 77,000, which puts us right up there. They intend on expanding again next year to basically, if it's part of the convention center, they're going to use it. So it's going to be crazy next year. Just crazy. I will be very curious to see how this plays out next year, because, like I said, it's just going to be crazy. All sorts of people everywhere all the time. So, you know what? I'm going to save more of this con talk for when Joseph is with me, because then we can just go through the days. Like I said, I'm just giving you highlights here and there. I had 2 science panels. That was really fun. I had an exorcism panel, which I probably won't talk about, because it wouldn't be right. I'll just tell you that, for me to talk about it. I still need to talk to people and see whether or not I'm going to share with you guys anything about that exorcism panel. Just out of politeness. But Dark Horse Comics showed up this year. That was a big deal. They had all sorts of good freebies. I'm hoping that DC and Marvel pick up on this and they show up, because they usually have good freebies too, I'll tell you that. Joseph and Gini are already planning their San Diego affair, because that's where they're going, and it's like, I'll tell you right now, grab all the free stuff you can. Grab all the free things. You go to the free table, you grab it all. You go to the booth, you grab it all. While one of you sitting at a booth and everything, mainly Gini, because she's got to sign things and greet people, then you send someone out to go to DC and Marvel and Dark Horse and grab it all. You just grab it all. They're like Pokemon. Get them all. But that's just me. Have heard an interesting rumor that Netflix is possibly looking into starting a new Star Trek series. That should be interesting. Again, that's just a rumor at this moment. There's nothing super verified. Just like there was a rumored timeline for the DC Comics movies that came out between now and 2017, which it was a crazy timeline, because it was like in three years or 2.5 years, 7 or 8 movies. Wonder Woman was going to be towards the end of that, but it was the Batman, Superman, Dawn of Justice, then Shazam, Captain Marvel, Shazam, and Sandman, and then what was another one that they pointed out? I forgot what another one was. And I'm not saying these necessarily in order. Wonder Woman was going to be in there, a Flash, Green Lantern team up, and a Justice League movie, and then at the end of this, Man of Steel 2. Yeah. So, wow. And they're planning on having Aquaman and Cyborg appear in other movies. Again, this is all tentative. This is all just kind of rumors right now. It does fit a lot of what they're talking about, but no guarantees that that's actually going to stick with. And even if that is the plan, these are years down the line. Things change. So we'll find out when it actually happens. But I do find it interesting that anyone could even believably joke about that being the list. So, wow, my phone is dead. Dead. So, I quickly want to get to, thank you guys all for last week. I apparently you guys appreciate being appreciated, and we appreciate that. So, yay. Stewie Monster, thank you again. And Terry, hello. And who was the other one? Oh, Tina, because Tina even openly admits that she loves appreciation. I am so sorry, Heather, that I missed you at the con. I cannot believe I missed you at the con. So many things to still talk about the con. Oh my god, it was just 4 days of madness. Because it started on Thursday, then all day Friday, all day Saturday, oh my god, Saturday, and then Sunday, winding down, and even then, still going strong. So, and then we were there until 9:30 at night, or 9, I don't know, we were there much later than what we should have been, and I think we can wait for Joseph to tell that story. So next episode is probably going to be a long one. Okay, we're going to try to get as much in as possible, and I'm going to see whether or not I can get the other equipment set up, because I can record more, I think, for longer on my pad than I can with this camera. So we'll see about that. We'll see how that works out. The sound and video will be a little bit different, of course, but I don't know good or bad on that yet. We're just going to have to put out a test on that before we can actually decide for sure on that. So, fair warning on that, that is still going to come up. We are still going to be doing a podcast from the specialized equipment, and even maybe a couple of them, to really figure out the ins and outs of how that's going to work. Okay? So, I am going to wrap this up right now. I believe this makes this kind of a little bit of a short episode, but like I said, there's so much I don't want to talk about without Joseph here. Oh! I do want to say, peeps, we need to set up some sort of game, okay? If you are local, hook me, get in touch with me, because we need to set up some sort of game night, like a Dungeons & Dragons night, or I want to play Fiasco. I got this Fiasco game that looks like way too much fun, and even if you're scared of Dungeons & Dragons, because, oh my god, these people think that they're doing Dungeons & Dragons. Fiasco is way too much fun. It's like minimalist rolling. It's everybody's playing pretty much all at once. Everybody makes decisions on how the story's going, and it just gets crazy, okay? It gets flipping crazy. Really looking forward to that, and it also has pretty much a max time that it could be. There's a definite end to the game, as compared to Dungeons & Dragons, which can last forever. But I got Pathfinder. I don't have a Pathfinder game to go play. I need to find Pathfinder people. If you are not nearby, like let's say you're in Australia, well, go find some of these people and tell me about it. Okay? Tell me about your role-playing game escapades. because I want to live vicariously through you for a little while. Until I get things set up here. Okay, I miss my old role-playing games and my old role-playing game days. Okay, I still have all the books. And when I say all the books, I mean, oh my god, all the books. So, well, maybe not all the books, because there were certain things, like, I just didn't care about the Dragonlance adventure books, and the setting, and the Greyhawk settings that they later put out books for. I just liked a little bit more generic and having the DM come with his own world. I was more interested in that. So, okay, there are certain settings. Unless that setting came with, like, whole new classes and whole new races or whatever, I wasn't going to get a setting book. But, other than that, oh my god, all the books. So, I want to live vicariously through you. Tell me about these things. Please. And that's going to be how I end this right now. That's going to be how I end this. Just an abrupt plea for vicarious living of other people playing Dungeons & Dragons. Yep. So I thank you all. We're going to try to hit the next... We're going to try to do the second one this weekend. So look for us on Monday for part 2. That'll be when we should get Joseph involved and we'll be giving you the extended down low on the con. Okay, so be prepared that may be a long episode. Just letting you know. Thank you for all your support, all your comments, all your love all this time. We are still growing beautifully. That one episode is still bizarrely really popular, and I don't know why. But other episodes are popular too, don't get me wrong. It's just one. It's like, whoa! That was a month or so ago, and now people are just like hitting it. So, thank you. And we look forward to catching you all this upcoming weekend and then beyond, of course. Take it easy. Bye-bye.
I can't believe we're at Canterlot Gardens. With all that they've advertised it, this is sure to be the best con ever. The convention.
You won't see me at the panels or around the dealer's hall. I'm too bashful at my very first convention. I'll be silent, but on Twitter I will post about it all. And go check me out on Tumblr. I'm blogging the convention.
IRL to chat at the convention.
Lot of tables,
Make it worth it.
we're hawking
Make
on my
thousands.
pricey handmade wares.
So expensive.
Eager fanboys,
Toys only.
they will buy them.
This is worth
Sloppy
it.
custom sold in pairs.
And both.
And the somewhat saucy artwork sold under the table.
Questionable content here is socially accepted. Have an impulse spending spree right here at the convention.
I will show them my new cosplay that I've slaved on week by week. I will be the hottest thing at the convention.
The convention.
Win the contest, take a picture. I will have all eyes on me. I will feel like I'm a model here at the convention.
Show off outfits that you sewed last night in your hotel room. People are less critical here at the convention. The convention.
Been blogging, I've been tweeting about my awesome panel. My followers, they worship me. Wear a shirt of my OC. Perform for crowds of dozens. They'll shower me with plushies. I get to be a rock star here at the
Feel like
convention.
you're an A-lister for one fulfilling weekend. Big fish in a smaller pond here at the convention. The convention.
I've come to this convention full of ponies just like me. Cause the ones at home dislike displays of blatant nerdery. Now for once I'll feel like I'm a part of true camaraderie. Trading card games and some LARPing with me at the convention.
All too brief acceptance by your colleagues at conventions.
I will meet all of my favorites at the VA meet and greets. I will plug my fan-made content for all of them to see. I am going to be their favorite and they'll hang out just with me.
Literally the best night ever. To the convention we must go. We're decked in swag from head to toe. Less than a week of time will somehow change our lives forever. Don't grant the folks from local news humiliating interviews. At the convention,
Tweet to friends.
At the convention,
make a profit.
At the convention,
photo shoot.
See my friends.
An occasional first shout out. Earn cash. Feel hot. Be cool. Make friends. Hobnob.
at the convention, at the convention, it will never get better than this. The convention.
Yeah! I may not be a content producer, but I'm a really genuine fan of the show!
Okay, that was the convention. Here's the question. I don't know if that was a parody or if that was... I have a cat down here doing something. I don't know what. If that was a parody or if that actually was from My Little Pony. If that was actually genuinely from My Little Pony, that's some good stuff there, okay? You bronies maybe are onto something. If that's a parody, whoever did it is brilliant, because that was really good stuff. Okay, that's all I got. I want to thank Compete Magazine. Yay. There's going to be a link for them. Gay Sports Magazine. You want to make sure to hit them up, see what they got going this month. Also, please do check out Joshua Tree Feeding Program. They are a non-profit organization that helps people with HIV and AIDS get food. They have a sister program that helps people feed their pets so they don't have to choose between feeding themselves and feeding their pets. Their website is www.fp. Oh, that's how come that's sounding funny. www.jtfp.com. Org. Ha! Maybe I need, like, some food in me. I don't know. www.jtfp.org. There we go. Just go there. Check them out. How many times have I been doing this? Now I, like, have difficulty saying their names. I cannot believe that. Also, and there will be links for these things, but don't forget to check out the Hero Initiative. Like I said, they help creators with basically living expenses and, things that happen in life after they've retired or just are no longer working as much. Sometimes that is helping them get commission work. Sometimes that is helping them, like, helping the widows pay for medical bills after their other halves have died. So please do check them out. There will be links here for them. If you type in Hero Initiative, you should see like a green silhouette, and that will be the website you want to go to. I can't... The bag doesn't have the website on it. So, that said, it is now time for comic book story time. Yay! This is comic book story time, and I'm gonna read for you a story from 5-Star Superhero Spectacular. It was a $1 comic from 1977, and all new epics. It features stories from The Atom, Aquaman, Green Lantern, Batman, and the subject of this story, the Flash. Flash? No, not that Flash. It's a different Flash. It's still the Flash, though. So, we start out, well, and the story is presented to you by writer Carrie Bates and art by Irv Novak and Frank McLaughlin, who I think we saw Frank McLaughlin in some other story recently. And they give a special thanks out to Julia Schwartz. So, special thanks for Julia Schwartz. It starts with a 2-page diorama? That's not the word I'm looking for. It's not a diorama at all. A 2-page spread of flash facts. Ooh, what kind of flash facts do we have here? When an object travels at a speed greater than Mach 5, 5 times the speed of sound, it is said to be moving at hypersonic speed. Ooh. Let's skip to another one here. The human nervous system carries messages from one part of the body to another at speeds up to 265 miles per hour. Ooh. It is a common fallacy to assume that a bolt of lightning cannot strike the same place more than once. Oh, because sometimes lightning does strike the same place twice. Like the lab at Central City Police Headquarters, where another lightning bolt, much like the one that struck years ago, electrifying an array of chemicals that spilled onto a young police scientist named Barry Allen, thereby endowing him with fantastic powers of speed, thus making him the fastest man alive. Well, someone else is about ready to get splashed with that. Because now we have the story, How to Prevent a Splash. Oh yeah, it's lightning, it's chemicals, and we got Barry Allen going over here, and he's got an assistant with him named Patty. And Patty is like about ready to be doused with chemicals. That's what happens. About ready to be doused with chemicals. And, oh, nope, not about to. There she is, covered in chemicals, electrified chemicals. And she goes off to wash off, and he's like going, I wonder what could happen to her. Because it happened to me, and it also happened to young Wally. That would be quite a coincidence if it happened 3 times the exact same way. Never mind the fact that it's quite a coincidence that it happened twice the same way. So, I don't know. But, because Wally is actually Kid Flash. Yeah, go figure. So, he recounts his origin of, hey, lightning hit, and oh, I got doused with chemicals, and now I'm the Flash, and then lightning hit, and he got doused with chemicals, and now Wally is Kid Flash. And a police officer comes in, and she's like going, hey, Barry, have you seen Patty? She was standing right next to me, and then she suddenly disappeared. Which is funny, because Barry sees her standing right next to her. And he's like going, oh, it started. Oh, dear. She is actually vibrating at such a speed right now, unknowingly, that she is invisible to the naked eye, except for to me, because I can see things at super speed. Yeah. The speed thing helps with his vision and stuff, his perceptions. Because it would suck if you could move at super speed, but you still saw things at regular speed, which means that you'd just be reacting to things way past time and all that. So yeah, it makes sense that his senses have adapted to match his super speed. So she's still vibrating, and he's like going, I wonder what I'm going to do to try to break this to her. How am I going to tell her what's going on without revealing that I'm the Flash, and without freaking her out? Before he can make a decision on that, she, apparently, has allergies, and she sneezes. Poof! She's vibrating so fast that her molecules vibrate through the walls, because that's what Flashes do. Okay, Flash people, they vibrate their molecules at such a speed that they can travel through time, and they can travel through dimensions, and they can vibrate through things. And that's how Flash can go through walls without destroying them. He just bzzz, and his molecules are through the wall. So now that she's done that, he's like, well, I guess I'll put the costume on since there's no one here anymore to ruin my secret identity. And he does that, runs through the wall, chases after her as fast as she can, but, you know, she's going pretty much as fast as he can with her supersonic sneeze, or super speed sneeze. He finally runs up to her, manages to grab her, but he can't because she's not vibrating at the same speed he's vibrating. And so hands pass through each other. So she ends up going into a construction area that has a big sign that says danger, blasting area. Danger. blasting area. And unfortunately, her vibrations are going to upset all the radio-controlled pyrotechnics that are there, causing everything to explode. Yeah. The Flash ends up having to circle around everything to contain the explosion, keep everybody safe, but he loses her in the process. He's like going, "Ah, crap. I had to make a choice. I made the right choice because people are now safe, but I don't know where she went." So he's just kind of hanging out, goes back to the police station. He dresses as Barry now. He's gotten out of his outfit. And suddenly, he's being whooshed along at super speed. Except for it's not him. He's not doing it. What's going on? Oh, it's some scarlet speedster. Yes, scarlet and yellow. But it's not the Flash. No, it's Patty. She's made herself an outfit. She's got herself a Flash colors themed outfit, red with touches of yellow. And there's a mask, which when she takes off the mask to reveal that it's Patty, has glasses on underneath it. That's convenient. That's convenient. Because, you don't want to be nearsighted and also fighting crime at the same time and not able to see what's up close. So, hey, that works. So he's like going, hey, maybe she's all excited. She's all going, I'm going to become a superhero. I'm going to use this for good. He's all going, I don't know. The Flash and Wally, they had years of practice, which, by the way, is BS. Okay, they pretty much were doused in chemicals and went out and fought crime right away. So I don't know where he's getting this, they have years of experience thing. Or they tested out their powers first, because he is so lying to her right here. But maybe he thinks that something's up. I don't know. But she's like going, no, look, I got control over this. Look, I can even run on water just like the Flash. And she starts running on the water, running. Somehow, though, as she's running in the water, it creates toxic fumes. Yeah. She ends up inhaling it. She can't breathe. He has to go rescue her real quick. And she's somewhat unconscious, so he can change because she didn't see him change. And then he has to go do the whole cyclone thing again, gather up all the toxic fumes, and get them away from town where they were going to go, so that it doesn't poison everybody in Central City. So he catches up with her, and he's like going, look, chick, see this? Another disaster. This time he's talking to her as the Flash, hoping that as the Flash she'll listen to him. I got Barry off to safety, but look, you got to listen to me. We got to take it easy on these speed powers of yours. And she's like going, no, you're just being silly. I've got this under control. And they run into town, and as they run into town, she's like going, no, look at me, I can do this. Look what I can do. And what she can do is, as she's running, because he started figuring out that somehow her powers not only gave her super speed, but caused her to create calamities. Which, that's such an unrelated power, I don't know how that works, but comic books. So now she's running at super speed, and she becomes dangerously radioactive, becoming like a big fireball, just racing down the streets. She even kind of realizes, oh crap, this is bad, but she can't stop running. She can't stop. Flash is trying to stop her here and there and stop explosions, but no, there's heat-caused explosions all over the place. And basically all of Central City blows up. Just boom! Central City, gone. Like that. And suddenly we're flashed back to lightning on chemicals. And Barry Allen is rushing over, going, Patty! This time, though, he uses his super speed faster than she can see what's going on and rushes her out of the way of the chemicals and the lightning so that she doesn't get doused with anything. No. She ends up with nothing on it. And she's like going, oh my God, that lightning must have blown me away from the thing. That's so fortunate because who knows what those chemicals would have done to me. And he's like going, who knows indeed? Because that whole story we saw was him just imagining what possibly could happen if she also got doused with chemicals and lightning at the same time. Except for he imagined it in the flash of lightning. That's how fast his imagination works. Yeah. all of that was just in his imagination. Yeah. His imagination is a little bit lying and a little bit sexist. Just saying. Just saying. Maybe it's just me. But it seems like we already caught him in a lie, where he talked about that, and it seems like, he didn't do his imagination thing when Wally got doused with chemicals. No, it's like, hey, it's a boy. What could go wrong if a teenage boy gets doused with chemicals? Nothing, I tell you, nothing. So, but now it's a lady assistant. It's like, ooh, what could go wrong if a lady gets doused with chemicals? My female assistant, who is older and wiser and went to school and learned things. Calamity, I'm sure of it. And then he goes and saves the day. So that was the Flash in How to Prevent a Flash. So now you know. That's how you do it. It requires super speed and stuff like that. But I thank you all for listening. Hope you enjoyed that, Mickey. And I will catch you all later. Bye.